Hello everyone. Today I wanted to do my January wrap-up. So these are the books that I read in January. A big chunk of them were audiobooks, but I did do a couple of physical books. Because of how busy I've been finding audiobooks being more, just more easier to do. So the first one I did was Perception by Terry Fleming. This is kind of like Pride and Prejudice continued, and I am very picky with Pride and Prejudice, like continuing or retellings, and I actually really like this one. This book actually follows what happens to Kitty and Mary after their sisters get married, so like right after the ending of Pride and Prejudice. And I really liked it. I identified very much with Mary, and just the romance was very cute, so I really liked it. If Mrs. Bennet could write a book about her two youngest daughters, this would be the book Mrs. Bennet would write, because it was good. So there's that one. The second one was one that I was very glad to get. Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West. This book comes out in February, actually 2.5 weeks from now. And this is a story about Lacey, and you had a little bit of Lacey in one of her other books, Love in the List, I believe it's called. So she's one of the main character's friends, so now it focuses on her and what happens. And Lacey's a girl who got a spot on an up-and-coming movie, and just the people who she meets on set, and she's not doing very well in school, so she has to have a tutor come in and help her, and the tutor ends up helping her kind of figure out some mysterious stuff that's been going on set. So I think P.S. I Like You will be my favorite out of all of Casey West's books so far, but this one was very cute, and I really, really like the cover. I should probably say I would give this a 4.5 stars, and I would give this 4 stars. So, for you guys to know. I also did Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. This is kind of like Anastasia set in space, and it kind of follows like this group of this crew that's on a spaceship and what happens to them. It was okay. I really loved Ashley Poston's Geekerella, but it didn't have like the charm of that. It was interesting, and I'm glad I read it, but I probably won't be reading the second book, unfortunately. I would give it maybe a 2 stars out of 5. So there's that one. It was one of my most anticipated last year, so I had high hopes for it, but unfortunately didn't have the spark that I wanted. The last one that I read was The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the second book in her Cruel Prince trilogy, I believe, and it follows what happens after the events of the first book, where Jude is now like the advisor to the king, and just what happens, and they are kind of getting threats from inside the fairy court and from outside the fairy court with mermaids. So that's kind of why there's like a water motif here. It was really good. I really, really like Holly Black's writing. I don't know if I like the ending and the twist that there was, but if she kind of gives an explanation why, or a good explanation why, then I don't think I would mind it. But I can't wait for the third book to come out, because I want to find out what happens, and I really like her writing. I would give this a 4 out of 5 stars. The rest of the books, I did a couple of those on audio, but I did a little bit more on audio. I did The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turon. This is a story. It's kind of a thriller. Like if you would get the game Clue, and or if you would get Agatha Christie and the game Clue, and kind of put them together, this is the book you would get. It's a story about a guy, and he finds himself in the bodies, or he finds himself in the middle of a murder, but he finds himself in the bodies of each of the suspects every day. So each day he's in the body of a different person, and he has to get clues, but he has to remember the clues when he gets to the second body in order to crack the case and find out, who did the murder, who's getting murdered, when, where, and all that. I liked it more than I thought I would, just because definitely I like mysteries, and the way it was written, definitely like Agatha Christie, Clue, different perspectives. So this one was very interesting. I would give this also a 4 stars out of 5. The next one is another thriller, 2 Can Keep a Secret If One Is Dead, by Karen McManus. She wrote One of Us is Lying, and this is her second book. It's also a thriller, and I like this book a lot better than One of Us is Lying. I thought One of Us is Lying was entertaining, but this one is definitely, it kept me on the edge of my seat, and I very much like the characters in here. And it focuses just on 2 characters. About a girl who is going into a new town and finds all this mysterious stuff happening, and then the other character is one of the suspects in the murders that have been going around. So I thought it was pretty good. The next one I did was a Morgan Matson book, Amy and Roger's Epic Deep Tour by Morgan Matson. I really like this story. It was really cute. It's the type of story that you would read during the summer, like you're going on vacation or something. It's about this girl who has to drive her family's car cross country to where her mom has just bought a new house. And along for the ride is someone who's going to visit his dad. So they get to know each other through this adventure that they have. And it was really cute. I liked it. I would give it another 4 stars out of 5. So Morgan Matson's Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. The next one is Jane and Austen by Stephanie Flowers. This is a story about Jane. She is kind of in charge of a hotel, and she starts finding out that the people who are coming to her hotel remind her of Jane Austen characters, and just like what ensues, and like she's like, oh, is this my chance to get a hero? But then there's like, she has to remember the stories, and there's twists and turns with that. So I definitely enjoyed it. There was some parts that were a little confusing because I really know the Jane Austen story, so I was like, okay, where is she going with this? But I would give this like a 3.5 stars out of 5. So Jane and Austen. The next one is an adult novel, Samantha Young, Fight or Flight. This was a story about 2 people who meet on a plane, and it's a trope that I really like, the hate to love trope. And these 2 people meet on a plane. They don't like each other, but they keep falling into each other throughout like the next few weeks, and they're like, why do I keep seeing you? And it's really cute and romantic. I would give this a 4 stars out of 5. Another one, also, I would say they're more like the kind of the genre new adult. It's the Aaron Watt series, The Royals. So I did Paper Princess, Broken Prince, and Twisted Palace. Kind of got a picture of all three. This is a story about a girl who goes to live with these rich people, the royals, and there's kind of a deal that's been struck that if she stays with them, she'll be able to get some money because she was the daughter of the dad's best friend. So she starts to know the family. What happens? She falls for one of the boys, but it's almost like a soap opera. This is kind of like how Twilight and all those books were, where they're just kind of like mindless trash books, but you can't put them down because you have to find out what happens next. And Aaron Watts' writing is very good. So those are the books that I read in January. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.